In this session, we'll talk about writing development in toddlers and preschoolers. For young children, art and writing are one and the same. At first, it's all about exploring what these things called crayons can do. Kids will discover that the mark on the page was directly caused by the hand movements they made with the crayon. This is a powerful example of learning what cause and effect can do. This development in their thinking skills is further fueled by increased muscle control in hands and fingers. This increased control allows children to move a marker or a paintbrush with a purpose and a goal in mind. At this stage, many children love the sensory feedback that art activities provide. The smell of paint, the way the crayons feel in their hands, and the squishiness of Play-Doh. Some young children do not enjoy some types of sensory input at this stage, like finger painting. As they grow and begin to tolerate more types of sensory input, gradually reintroduce sensory art at later stages. Integral to writing readiness are prerequisite motor skills like hand and finger strength, hand-eye coordination, and object manipulation. Bilateral integration refers to the brain's ability to effectively communicate between the left and right sides. This communication is vital so that the right and left sides of the body can work together for everyday tasks such as reading, writing, crawling, and riding a bike. Activities that encourage young children to cross their midline, that imaginary line dividing the body into left and right sides, are essential for brain development. Reaching across the body for a toy, drawing across the whole page from left to right, playing Twister and Simon Says are simple activities that help both sides of the brain communicate. Emergent writing is a child's first attempt at writing. It is essential for caregivers to create play environments that include writing essentials. Children as young as 2 begin to imitate print through scribbling. Stage 1, random scribbling, usually takes place between 15 months and 2.5 years. At this stage, many children love the sensory feedback that art activities provide. This is often through painting or drawing or even using Play-Doh. Some young children do not enjoy sensory input, and if this is the case, take your time exposing them to different kinds of art that they can use to draw. So you may start with chunky crayons or sidewalk chalk or large paintbrushes that you dip into water rather than paint, or even sponges. All of these movements help to build fine motor skills. Stage 2, or controlled scribbling, takes place between ages 2 to 3 years. At this stage, children's fine motor skills are continuing to grow in their hands and their fingers, and their scribbling becomes more controlled. Over time, children make the transition to holding the crayon between their thumb and pointer finger. You might see more controlled repeated marks on paper, such as open circles and vertical lines. In stage 3, you'll notice lines and patterns, as indicated on the right side of this slide. This is usually between the ages of 2.5 and 3.5 years. At this stage, children begin to understand that print is made up of curved, straight, and diagonal lines. They may not yet be able to make letters correctly, but they begin to make marks resembling common letters, sometimes using dots, curves, and lines. Your toddler is beginning to realize that print conveys meaning and may read to you what he or she has written on the page. By age 5, most children have developed the ability to make all the lines necessary for letter formation. In stage 4, you're going to start to see objects and people. This is usually between the ages of 3 and 5 years of age. Young children will often create a picture first and then label their masterpiece afterwards. During this stage, you will see your child more clearly planning a picture and then adding more details to the picture, using more controlled movements of the pencil and crayons, and using more colors. Children's pictures are often built from circles. You may see a circle for a person's head and then arms and legs sticking out from the circle, as you notice the picture above. During this stage, their visual thinking is starting to develop as they begin to picture images in their mind. You'll see more purposeful and intentional drawing. Stage 5, letter and word practice, usually takes place between the ages of 3 and 5 years old. You'll see children going back and forth between their random circle people drawings and then eventually adding some things that look like letters to their pictures. Notice this picture on the side is surrounded by random letters. At this stage, children begin to understand the difference between pictures and writing. Children may draw a picture and then scribble words on their pages to describe the picture. Children are also making pretend letters using all the strokes they have mastered. They will often assume that their created letters are real because they resemble letters they have seen. Their word scribbles will begin to change from one long string of letters, like shapes, to letters that are grouped together in patterns of short words and long words. This milestone demonstrates your child's understanding that print conveys meaning, and it's a very exciting time when this begins to happen.